Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and let's get right into today's video. So for today's video, I do have a Tobeglam polygel kit. The name of this one is Failing Glamour, and this is an all-in-one French nail extension gel kit. So they did send this over to me as PR. It can be purchased on Amazon. Taking a look at the back, it shows what the package includes, the notes, ingredients, how to use, and the warning. I really love the box. I love the pink and the little like flower petals with the hands and the little hearts and flowers. I just think the packaging is the cutest. Especially when you open it, it says, "Hello, gorgeous. We're glad to meet you here." I just think that's so sweet and something really nice when you're opening up a package. Like, that's the first thing you see. So let's go ahead and unbox this kit, but I do want to mention that you can purchase this kit on Amazon for $20.99, and you can also clip like the Amazon coupon to save an extra 20% off when you apply that coupon. So I will be linking it in the description box below if you do end up wanting to purchase. The first thing in the unboxing here is the instructions. This is kind of like a nail hack like polygel kit, I would say. I'll get into that furthermore into the video. But the next item are some nail tips, and I was actually very excited about this. As you may know, a lot of polygel kits do include dual forms, and I just feel like many people aren't using dual forms. I may be wrong about that, but I personally don't like using them. I like using full cover or half cover nail tips, so I was super excited when I realized that full cover nail tips were included in this kit. You do get 10 different sizes on a scale of 0 to 9, 0 being the largest and 9 being the smallest. And this shape here is the coffin or ballerina shape, and it is a pretty reasonable length. Also, if you don't like it that long, you can clip it down to your desired length. We also get another bag of nail tips, which also has 10 different sizes, 0 being the largest and 9 being the smallest size. And these ones here are some stiletto nail tips. I really love that the full cover nail tips were included. The lazy girl method is a very quick, simple way to do your nails at home, and I just love the fact that we get full cover nail tips. You can also apply your polygel on the top side of the full cover nail tips instead. The next item are some flat back rhinestones. These are the clear flat back ones, and you do get 1,440 different rhinestones in this pack, and they are all the same size, kind of like a medium small size. Super nice. I love when kits include some decorations. And not only do we get rhinestones, but we get an actual rhinestone picker. I was so happy that this was included. Usually kits just throw in like a little wax pencil, but we get an actual rhinestone picker that's super cute. The bottom end can be used to move around your rhinestones or pick up like these small like little ball beads. And of course it's pink, super cute, and I was super happy that that was included. The next item, you may be questioning, why a beauty blender? Well, this beauty blender is for the entire purpose of the nail hack of this kit, kind of like the thing that went famous with the silicone, like squish thing with the nails. I don't really know. It's like the French tip hack. I tried it before. I didn't ever try it with a beauty blender though, so today we will be trying that out. We get some base coat in an 8 ml bottle, some top coat also, which is 8 ml. And we also get a white gel polish, which I believe may be a 5 ml container, but this is just named basic and it is a white. We also do get 2 tubes of polygel. These are both 15 ml tubes, and the shades are Love It. I will be swatching these, and the other shade is Classic, which are both like a pink nude tone. The next item is the mini nail lamp, and I have so many of these. I feel like most of the times when you purchase a all-in-one polygel kit, you are pretty much likely to receive one of these nail lamps. The default setting for this is 45 seconds, but if you do long press the button for 1 to 2 seconds, it can be changed to a 60-second timer. So there are 2 timer settings with this lamp, and of course it has like the foldable legs and just your standard mini UV LED nail lamp. We also get a 180 grit hand file and a dual-ended polygel brush with the brush on one end and the spatula on the other. I absolutely love how everything in this kit was themed around pink. And another thing I want to mention, this is the absolute perfect beginner-friendly starter polygel kit. You do get everything you need to do your nails at home, and I will show you the process of me doing my nails in a moment, but we are first going to be swatching these polygels. Like I said, we do get 2 different colors in 15 ml tubes, which it is a smaller size, but of course you get 2 different colors, so it's technically you're getting a 30 ml bottle, but in 2 shades. So the classic is kind of like a more pink toned color, and then the Love It is kind of like a peachy nude or a like soft baby pink shade. I really liked both of these colors, but for my skin tone I preferred the shade Classic just because it was a little bit more pink and didn't really give off the peach color. So now let's go ahead and size out our nail tips. I did want to do this on camera just to kind of show a little bit about these sizes in this kit. I feel like sometimes people wonder that. I also wanted to show the nail tips. As you can see, these nail tips are pretty flat. The usual nail tips I use have a little bit more of an apex and a shape to the nail. It's all about personal preference, whether or not you like your nail tip to already have a little bump for the apex, or if you like a flatter nail tip. They do still have that C curve, and it does give me space. I feel like I have pretty flat nail beds, but honestly, I don't know if I have flat nail beds. But the nail tips fit me fine. I'm usually a size 3 for my thumb, and I did go ahead and size up to a size 2 for this nail set since I was going to be doing the lazy girl method, just because I did not really see a big difference from the size 3 to the size 2. It just gave me a little bit more room, which is what I needed because I will be applying polygel to the underside of the nail tip. When you are sizing out your nail tip, you will want it to fit from sidewall to sidewall, and it should just, when you put the nail tip on, you should not have to press down for it to fit from sidewall to sidewall. Another very helpful tip to get the nail tips to fit perfectly and look salon quality in the end is to take your hand file and file around the cuticle area to really get that nail tip to fit your nail beds and around your cuticle perfectly. It will make the nails look 100 times better, so just take this extra step and do it, and you will have a lot nicer looking nails. One tip with this though is file very minimal filing, like don't go in and file a lot because then you can overfile and the nail tip will look wonky and it will begin to not even fit you at all. So I just went ahead and did this with all of the nail tips, just going in and filing around the cuticle, filing a very small amount at first and then checking to see if it looks nice around my cuticle, and then filing more if needed or just popping it onto the nail stand. For my nail stands, I like to place them on using like some sticky tack, which I just purchased from Amazon, and this just makes it a lot easier when I'm applying the polygel. It just sticks on the nail stand and I don't physically have to hold the actual nail tip. So this kit did not actually come with a liquid slip solution, so I'm going to be using 91% isopropyl alcohol. But if you do not have this and you are buying this kit to have it be a all-in-one polygel kit, you can of course use the base coat as your slip solution. I just prefer using 91% isopropyl alcohol instead. So I did decide to use the shade Classic like I mentioned before. I just like this one a little bit more than the Love It shade. I'm also using the Tobeglam Polygel brush and just dipping that into my slip solution to allow me to mold my polygel without it sticking to my brush. So for the Lazy Girl method or the Femi Beauty method, you are just squeezing your polygel into the full cover nail tip just as you would a dual form. If you've ever used dual forms before, I'm sure you will feel like doing this way of your nails will be like super easy, because when I started off, I used dual forms because I didn't know about this method, and then I hated the dual forms, so I found out about this method and I was like, oh my goodness, this is 100 times easier. I am so happy I realized that this method can be done. So like I said, basically the same exact thing. You're just going to be applying the polygel to that full cover nail tip and using your brush with that slip solution to mold the polygel and cover the entire nail surface. Like I always say, when I am doing this method, a little bit of polygel does go a very long way, because you will be leaving on the full cover nail tip. The full cover nail tip plus the polygel gives your nails a lot of strength and support, because the nail tip is basically like a support, and then adding in that polygel really strengthens the nail and strengthens the nail tips. I hope that makes sense, but really that's why using a little bit of polygel goes a long way, just because you're basically using that polygel to cover the surface of the nail tip and also give the nail the color that you are looking for. As you can see, I am not applying any of the nail tips yet, just because I have found it a lot easier to do all of my nails at once and then apply them all at once. I just think it makes it easier not having any other nails on my hand while I am finishing off the rest of the nails. So doing it this way, I will just go ahead and smooth out and mold my polygel into the nail tip, making sure it has covered the entire nail tip. And then I will just go ahead and place the nail right back onto the nail stand without curing. You do not want to cure your polygel yet. The only time you will be curing is when you're actually applying the nail tip to your natural nail, because that polygel will be the thing attaching the nail to your natural nail. So doing like pretty short nails like this may be a long length for some people, but for me it is pretty short since I am used to doing 3XL nails. This took me no time at all. I think the video time for this was only 5 minutes. Of course, I did speed it up a little bit, but it did not take me long to apply the polygel to these nail tips. Which brings me to my next thing, the polygel consistency. If you know me, you know I like a stiffer, thicker consistency of polygel, just because I think it's a lot more beginner friendly, easier to use. You're not constantly needing to dip your brush into the slip solution. You aren't like having that sticky polygel all over you, all over your brush. So this polygel is definitely a 10 out of 10 for me. It is a stiffer, thicker consistency, and it is really easy to mold and move along the nail. Once I was finished with all of the nails molding the polygel, I did go ahead and apply my peel off base coat, just because I will not be keeping these nails on. I have a lot more content to film, so usually I am applying a peel off base coat. If you do want your nails to last, you will need to go in with a good prep routine, and obviously do not apply a peel off base coat. After that peel off base coat was on and cured, I'm now just going in and taking the nails off of their nail stand and gently placing them onto my natural nail. Basically, just like you were applying a press-on, just keep in mind that the polygel is not yet cured and it will be sticky, it will squeeze out, and you don't want to like forcefully push the nail onto your nail. I like to do it in a very slow motion and just really feel that suction of the polygel on my natural nail. Also, before curing, you will want to make sure you take your cleanup brush, clean up any polygel around your cuticle and on your skin, and also doing that to the underside of the nail. Each nail, I did do a flash cure of around 15 to 30 seconds, but then once all of the nails were on my natural nails, I did do a full cure of 60 seconds on top and 60 seconds underneath, just to make sure I had a good full cure of the nails. After the nails were cured, I went ahead and took a lint-free wipe with some isopropyl alcohol and wiped the tops and undersides of the nails to remove the sticky layer from the polygel. You do really want to make sure you remove that sticky layer because it can gunk up your hand file. Now for filing the nails, I really did not need to do much filing at all because you do leave on the full cover nail tip when you are doing this method. You really already have that nail shape there. I just like to take my hand file, clean up the free edge around the cuticle and crisp up the shape. Also taking an e-file with a cuticle ball bit to go around the cuticle to clean up any polygel and seal in the cuticle. And of course, I like to finish it off with a buffing block to remove the shine from the nail tip. I repeated that to all of the other nails and removed the dust, and that is how the nails are looking. I then went back to the instructions because honestly, I wasn't quite sure how to do the French tips with the Beauty Blender. I have used a silicone jelly stamper, that's what they're called. I've used a silicone jelly stamper to do this nail hack before, but I've never actually used a Beauty Blender. So I kind of looked at the instructions and kind of figured out how to do it. In the picture image, I did see them using plastic to cover the Beauty Blender, and I'm assuming that way so the gel doesn't sink in, but you will see in a minute here that the plastic did not work out for me, and I just went to applying the actual gel to the Beauty Blender. So for me, this nail hack was actually super difficult. I just feel like I could not get the hang of it until I was on my pinky, which honestly I feel like that's pretty good because that's 3 fingers and then I kind of got the hang of it. But overall, for me, I don't know if this was easier or harder or what, which I will be talking more about. Because I had that peel off base coat on, when I pressed the nail into the Beauty Blender, it just popped right off, which I got super frustrated with that. Also, when I was looking back at the pictures, I realized that you're not actually supposed to push the nail into that Beauty Blender. The French tip is kind of just the tip of the nail, which I personally don't even like the way that looks. I think it looks very silly, just having the French tip on the free edge of the nail. But then again, looking back at the instructions, I saw that it was on a V French tip or a side, you know what I'm saying, on the side here. And I was like, okay, that may look a lot better than just the tip of the nail having a little bit of white on it. So I was like, let me go ahead and try that out. And once I actually tried doing this without the plastic, I don't know. I didn't like using the plastic at all. I think it made it a lot harder. So I just went in and put that gel on the actual Beauty Blender. But doing the French tip or the white on this side of the nail, kind of like a color blocking or a V French tip with only one side done, doing it like this, I honestly didn't think it was that bad. But is it really a hack? I don't know, because I struggled a lot. Also, when I took the gel and pushed it onto the nail, it really didn't look super clean. I had to actually take my cleanup brush. I had to take some more gel polish. I had to keep going back in with that Beauty Blender to try to build up the color and actually have it look nice, like it was painted on. So I don't know if it was really a hack for me, but of course I have been doing French tips for a very long time. So maybe just me thinking I could have did this drawing it on myself and it would have been 10 times easier versus somebody who is a beginner, has never done any nail art, never did French tips. This may definitely be a hack for you. I feel like it is also a trial and error type of situation. Trust the process. Obviously have a cleanup brush on hand because you are going to have to clean up, especially with using a Beauty Blender or even a jelly stamper. It is going to get on the underside of the nail like you can see here. You will want to go ahead and clean that up before curing. So I will say that my index finger was definitely the hardest finger because I kind of tested the waters. I was seeing what I wanted to do, kind of figuring it all out, how hard you press the Beauty blender is really how your line is going to be affected, how lightly you press it, how much polish you put. Really, this whole process is a trial and error, and I do not want to like diss this whole hack because honestly, for me, it may not be a hack or it may not be easy, but for somebody else, it may be super easy for them. It may help them do French tips very quick, very easy. And I also want to mention, once I continued out doing this process, it really got a lot better once I was kind of like getting the hang of it. And I feel like I would get the hang of doing it like this versus drawing them on a lot quicker. I hope that all makes sense. I hope you don't think that I'm like tearing this hack like down, saying like this is not a hack, this is not good. But then again, like, I mean, I don't know if it really helped me. I feel like I would have probably been able to finish this same nail design in the same amount of time or even quicker if I was just drawing them on myself. So of course, this may be something for you, this may not be, but I definitely recommend you try it out before you say something about it, because you may be looking at me thinking like, oh my goodness, this is not a hack, but then you may try it and actually think like, oh wow, this is super amazing. I will only be doing my French tips this way from here on out. Also, I think it would be super easy to put like that little line French tip on the free edge of the nail, just because that would be very easy. I just personally do not like that look, so that's why I decided to do the sides of the nail instead. For each nail, I did cure for 30 seconds just to make sure I didn't bump it or mess up the French tip. And then once I was finished with all of the French tips, I did decide that the nails looked very plain and I wanted to add on some rhinestones. So I just opened the rhinestones that came in the kit, and I am just going to be placing these in a diagonal line like on the white to kind of separate the white from the pink, and I really liked the look of this. I did only show one nail just because it is a very repetitive process, but I just went ahead and used my top coat. I applied a layer of that. Before curing, I put on my rhinestones. Once I liked the placement, I did go ahead and cure for 30 seconds in the nail lamp and then repeated the same exact thing to the other nail. I do want to apologize for talking throughout this entire video, but because this nail set was a very quick nail set for me, it didn't really take me long at all. I just felt like it was a super quick video and I just could not stop talking. But I do want to say that if you are still watching, please make sure you subscribe to my channel and like this video. It really helps me out a lot. And if you are feeling generous, leave a comment below. After I had the top coat and the rhinestones placed on all of the nails and that was all cured, the nails were finished. I just wanted to apply my cuticle oil to nourish my cuticles and of course, like I always say, top off this nail set. And I really loved the end result of these nails. They were very simple, basic, but cute and classy at the same time. I just think this is a very simple nail set and you can definitely use this kit to recreate this same exact nail set, especially for it being on Amazon for only $20.99. Plus, if you hurry, you can get like that 20% off or whatever I said at the beginning. So I will be linking it in the description box below in case you are interested. Leave a white heart in the comment section if you are still watching. That way I know you have made it to the end of the video. And I also do want to say thank you if you are still watching. It really means a lot. But as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all next time.